jam chuck of this type is an invaluable tool to have as a wood turner. If you turn more than spindle work, and you already have a scroll chuck, a longwork chuck, a donut chuck, or a set of cold jaws, you can still benefit from having a jam chuck in your arsenal of turning tools. Other chucks that self-center will not easily allow you to turn off-center or turn oddly shaped pieces. So if you don't have this type of jam chuck, stick around to the very end to learn how to make this essential wood turning tool. If you're wondering, the jam chuck plate is made out of 3/4 inch MDF wood. On a side note, you can use plywood. Just make sure you use a really good grade of plywood, because if there's holes on the side or it's warped, it's not going to come out very good, as what happened to me here. And I'm making a center finder out of a walnut wooden dowel. You do want to check the center, make sure it was accurate. And I also added a coat of ACK'S polishing paste. I did use a rubber ink refill cap from Pen Kits to cover up the nail tip when not in use. I do already have a center mark on this board from before, but I just wanted to show you that there are many ways to find center on such a large board. You can even use these little pen center finders and then just extend the lines. I did end up purchasing this 6-inch faceplate on Amazon. Well, it's about 5 3/4 inch, but it's great quality, great machining. It's steel. It fits my Jet 1640 EVS lathe. My lathe spindle doesn't protrude out the front of it. So if you're interested, it's in my Amazon shop. I will put a list of materials for this project in the video description. I ended up using a flathead stainless steel M6 by 25mm 1-inch pitch bolts for the 3/4 MDF board, along with a 1/2-inch Forstner bit and M6 lock nuts, washers, and an M6 drill bit. And if you haven't worked with MDF before, the most important step of this project is to wear a dust mask of some sort, because the MDF dust is nasty and it gets everywhere. I was able to drill the perimeter holes on the drill press, but the inner holes I had to use a hand drill because it didn't fit under my drill press. And you just want to make sure that you're as square as possible when you're drilling these holes. Another way you could drill the holes, especially if you don't have a drill press at all, is to put the faceplate on there, tape it down, and then drill the holes right through the faceplate so they're perfectly aligned. To make your jig last and to not have any bulges or warps or anything in the future, I recommend adding some type of top coat. I'm using Shellac. It's a 3-pound cut, or you can use a sanding sealer or a type of varnish. I recommend not using anything water-based because that can cause problems. They also do make a moisture-resistant MDF board that you can buy, but it's, a little bit more expensive. The shellac that I used is not thinned down at all, and I only used 1 coat. Also, don't use any type of wax over the surface because the tape later on in this video won't stick to it. Here's a tip. I did make the holes with the Forstner bit a little bit wider than the washer so I can fit a socket in there. If you're using screws, then that wouldn't matter. A couple more tips. Buy extra bolts and screws and nuts in case you lose them in wood shavings. And also make sure you use the proper lathe speed with a jam chuck, especially of this size. I would stay under 600 RPMs. Even though I did try my best, it still is out a little bit, so I just need to true up the edge. And I reiterate, the MDF dust is nasty. Only after a few seconds of turning, the dust is everywhere. But it's running perfectly true now. I like to use anti-rug slip underlayment material. I use them on jigs and for sanding. They work great. They come in different sizes, patterns, colors, thicknesses. I made a similar video to this one a few years ago for my midi lathe, and I'm going to use a neutral color this time and one without holes. Dust can get into the holes and stick to the turner's tape or Velcro, and the lighter colors do show off stains and dust more. Well, I am extremely happy with how this jig came out. If you've never used one before or don't have one, I highly recommend making one. All you have to do is apply tailstock pressure and you're good to go. Keep the lathe speed down. You can finish the bottom of bowls, the bottom of plates, and off-center turnings and oddly shaped pieces. And the anti-slip cushion pad works fantastic. It's really strong and holds the piece down nicely. I didn't show this in action today because you'll be seeing it very soon with project videos, so click that bell, click that like and subscribe so you're notified of any future videos and you'll get to see this baby in action. So as always, stay safe in your shop at all times. Take care and thank you.